What became of the weird kid you went to school with? I had a classmate nicknamed Bucket. He got this name cause he was running around with a bucket on his head a few times. Once, he was getting mugged on the street. Few guys surrounded him with a knife, demanding to hand over his phone. He started laughing, took out his phone and smashed it on the ground, continued laughing like a maniac. Muggers baffled by what they saw, they just walked away. Edit. I totally missed the point of this thread. I just read weird kid from school and shared this story. He is actually doing pretty good, studying physics at our country's best science university, though he is still really weird. He went to MIT and now works at a tech company. He was always really smart, but so awkward. He once ran out of a classroom and hid behind some bushes because he got an answer wrong in class in 11th grade. He started going to the same gym as me and became a regular. Still weird, just has big arms now. He was the school's #1 bully. Today he runs a successful beauty shop, partnered with a guy he used to pick on from those days. Can't make this up. I was actually friends with him due to his association with some teammates I had. Anyway, in high school he was super awkward. He was the only kid that had a rolling backpack. He hung out with a crowd that would adjust their sleep schedule so that they could talk online to Japanese kids, and he would dress up in formal wear every day for school, like full suit and tie. He is now a successful local politician who is well on his way to becoming a successful state and/or national politician. I'm glad for him. Some say he still walks the halls super fast carrying all his books instead of using a backpack or locker. There was a kid who used to wear capes to school. Last I saw he became a Scientologist. When I was in college, I got an unexpected call from an FBI agent who wanted to ask me some questions about weird kid. I was like, holy shit, this is it. He actually became a terrorist. FBI agent met me and asked me some basic questions. Turned out, weird kid didn't do anything wrong. He was just applying for a job with the FBI and needed a background check. Didn't think to tell me that he listed me as a reference. Pretty sure he got the job. He was a super awkward death metal fan who actually printed out a contract with the devil and signed it with his own blood. When he didn't know what to say he would make big noises and would sprint out of the room. From what I can tell, by looking at his Facebook page, he is now a happy and well-adjusted woman who likes sundresses. Turned out that he had been prescribed the wrong medication the entire duration of school, and last I saw he seemed like a fairly regular guy trying to score a little weed. He murdered his own mom a bit before graduation. He got sentenced 20 to life and is now in jail. It turns out she had an undiagnosed genetic disorder and had a stroke at the age of 20. I'm the weird kid you went to school with, and I hated all of you, so I disappeared off the face of the earth and no one knows who or where I am. The kid who went around pissing inside computers and musical instruments? From what I've seen on Facebook, he's now the trashiest piece of trailer trash I've ever seen. The weird trench coat kid jumped off a bridge a few years later but lived. Broke 100 bones or so I heard. Not sure what happened to him since then. Turns out he had Asperger's, which, in hindsight, was really obvious. He now works at a pizza joint and is married. According to Facebook, he's really into steampunk. He's doing just fine and has a family now. I met him years later, and he said the reason he acted out was he was abused by his foster parents. Makes perfect sense now, and I'm glad he is doing well. Dude named Cameron in my class. When I was in school with him, he and I always got along fine, but he had some pretty weird things going on. He would flat out stare at girls and readjusted his pants a little more conspicuously than was necessary. He dropped out of school senior year because people were making fun of him, and he has suicidal thoughts. A few weeks ago I saw him at a restaurant in town with another girl from the class behind us. He had lost a ton of weight and was wearing contacts instead of ridiculously thick glasses. Had a pretty sweet beard and a nice haircut and outfit. I almost didn't recognize him, but he said hello to me, and it clicked when I heard his kinda honky voice. We talked for a minute or so, and I asked him if he wanted to go get a beer sometime, so we could catch up on old times. His mother died of a heart attack and his sister committed suicide, so he decided that he was gonna get better. He started going to the gym and got an associate's at the local college. He started working at the bank and became a loan officer and seems to be making good money doing it. He really turned his life around. One is a neo-pagan that worships Odin and is a cook at a German restaurant in our hometown. He's also a Civil War reenactor on the Confederate side. Another started a Christian goth club at our high school, created a similar one at college, then died in a motorcycle accident. He masturbated in the bathroom, came back to class, and wiped his load all over the school bully. Bully beat him up and got expelled. The weird kid needed help of some kind and switched to special ed classes. We honor his bravery. He now plays the bagpipes in full Scottish outfit as a Belgian. That's still pretty weird, I think, and really annoying when you live in a small village like ours. Damn, I hate that sound. We all got on Reddit/Toad films. The last I heard, he threw up on his first day working at an Essel's factory because he ate too many fruit pastels. He was one of these kids that you might mistake for special ed at first glance. Very awkward presence, bit of a loner, runs through halls like an anime character. It's not until you talk to him that you realize that this guy's actually off the charts intelligent. He basically stuck to his routine until graduation, after which he spent his college years traveling through Europe, becoming a worldly and distinguished individual, picking up a hot German girlfriend along the way, and eventually securing a job at NASA. Yeah, jokes on the rest of us. I was friends with him because he liked DBZ and we used to talk about it loads, but he always used to shout out shit in the middle of class, like when he was getting yelled at he'd laugh and say things like, "You really think you can defeat me?" I was cringy as hell, but I laughed loads and he ran around doing fucking Naruto hand signs. It was funny as shit. Turns out he killed himself. Suicide no jutsu. There were 22 kids in my graduating class. There really wasn't a weird kid in the stereotypical sense. If anything, I was the weird kid because I wasn't a farmer. His mom told my dad he was an accountant, when in fact, he works as a maintenance man at the apartment complex that I live in. She's the most prominent freeman on the land activist in my hometown. Edit, better known as sovereign citizens in the USA. I'm in Canada. Started dating some 15-year-old chick and shot her parents when they opposed a 20-something-year-old weirdo dating their daughter. Luckily, the wounds were non-fatal, and luckily, he's in prison. I was the weird kid in elementary and much of high school. Because of where I lived, I never saw anyone outside of the school and played video games all day every day. By the time I was halfway through high school, I had friends, sure, but my social skills were so underdeveloped I had erratic behavior that pushed people away. This behavior haunted me until I was in the very early 20s. He ended up rather successful, actually. Took a high-level executive job at an insurance company. He's been pretty successful in about everything but romance. Poor dude has had his heart broken twice. I still go and hang out with him every once in a while. Nice guy. Wish I had talked to him more in high school. It was probably me. I was a painfully nerdy girl. One of those kids with no social skills who is obsessed with pleasing the adults and is terrified of everything all the time, especially getting told off. Bad haircut, second-hand clothes, no confidence, no social skills. Makes herself an easy target for being picked on. I got really bitter and defensive as high school went on because of the sheer extent of the bullying. I got outed as gay and that only made everything worse. Went pretty nuts. Cutting on myself and writing meaningful lyrics on my bag. Stalked around being a tubbly little loner a lot of the time. I'm 32 now. I got 100% better once I left my hometown and went to uni. Took me a long time to sort myself out, but being away from my toxic family and the endless bullying and harassment at school let me heal and become the funny kind person that I always wanted to be. Oh, and I figured out at 29 that I'm trans, so I'm not a girl anymore. So the weird, awkward girl is now a short, happy guy who never speaks to anyone from school, ever. One of the weird kids turned out to be a reasonably successful Dota/HS streamer. Editor Rino. He joined school midterm, and since day one some bullies started stealing his stuff, beating him and all that crap. He left school like a week after he joined. People said he left because he brought his hamster to school, and bully numero uno threw it off the window. It was the last time I saw the bully as well. I think he got expelled. I don't wanna say who it is. I think he tried hard to forget all that shit and I don't wanna remind him of it. Editor Inno Reloaded. Besides streaming, it seems he graduated in psychology and has a GF now. So I'm glad things got better. I had class with this girl in 5th grade who was a complete mess. Really? She was such a slob. My teacher gave her a special desk with 3 walls to contain all her trash, and she wasn't very hygienic either. Turns out, she's this super sexy dancer that lives in Denver now. Talk about a 180. There were several of them in my school and they all hung out together. I just know what happened to 2 of them. They're both still weird, but one is doing much better than the other one. One is studying to become a paramedic, and I think he will be absolutely phenomenal at it. He may be a bit eccentric, and I honestly don't like him much, but hot damn he has the personality for it. The other one goes to my university. She's the one who wears onces with a hood and ears around campus, wears a supernatural backpack with anime and cartoon keychains, spends her day drawing/writing supernatural porn. She has shown me. Shudder. She actually got in trouble for writing a supernatural erotica for a class assignment, then reading it to the class. In a way I feel bad for her, because she just desperately wants to be liked, but I honestly don't think she'll go very far in her life.